Wicked Bitter.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wicked Bitter podcast. I am Travis, and I have Josh with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, Wicked Bitter podcast brings to you the best podcast in the world.
That's true.
A.K.A.
It's a fact.
Patches O'Houlihan, a.k.a. Callahan Auto Parts, a.k.a. the Kool-Aid Jammer, a.k.a. Big John Stud, a.k.a. your favorite.
Your favorite. And we got Mike.
Your second favorite.
What am I then? I guess I'll just be the third favorite. And we got T in the corner back there again. Hey, T.
Hello,
Everybody
T.
say hi to T. Right
Tired
Josh.
T.
T's super tired. She walked in right before we started doing this, and she had that look on her face like
Sleepy time tea.
ready for a nap.
Yeah,
Nap time tea.
that would be nice right now.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys hear about this story? It's been in the news in Omaha. You hear about anything about in Omaha?
I never hear
Yeah.
anything about that.
No one ever does. Like
None of
literally,
that
I don't know why, but I heard about it today.
Steaks, Nebraska.
That's the only thing people know about Omaha is the steaks, which are very good, by the way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was a guy. I guess he was with a couple of friends or whatever, and they were stuck in an elevator. But I guess like the city was going through like some like flooding, so like the elevator started to flood. And like it was like the power was out and stuff, so like the water was like rising and rising, like as he's in there.
Oh wow!
And like I think his friend, which was a girl, she was like calling 911.
Wow,
And
electrical.
Yeah, and then he was calling. I guess he's got a friend who works in that building as a maintenance guy.
It could have been fried in there.
Yeah, that's scary as shit. Cause like there was like video of it, and the guy called his friend who was like he works like maintenance or something. For that building, so his friend had to come up and like with another one of his friends, and they had to like pry the elevator like open to get them out of there.
Were they in between floors? Or?
I don't know that part, but I did see the video where like the guy was filming himself like in the elevator, and like it was already up to like his shoulders, like almost up to his neck, and he was calm about it.
Okay, so they must have been stuck on the first floor to be flooded. It usually only goes about 10 feet.
Yeah, right, because it wouldn't have been able to.
I mean, that would be an incredible flood.
Yeah,
I mean, that's Noah's
it's like
Ark
the whole
stuff.
The whole city's underwater.
That's Noah's Ark stuff.
Yeah. But still, even if it's first floor, think about that. Think how high that's got to be. That's got to be pretty high.
It's high, and the worry part is they could get fried. If it hits the electrical part.
I don't. I immediately thought of like that's got to be one of the worst. Like,
I mean, if it hits the buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, like, survival instinct. Wasn't there like some kind of like compartment on the top
that they could have gone through?
Climb out. I mean, if the water rises enough, they could just float up, hit the
push
thing.
It open or something.
Well, there is a thing too. I mean, depending on how old the building is, like the building that I have in Salisbury, the elevator, there's no escape route. So on the roof of the elevator, right, it's only lights. There is no escape. So if you're stuck, you're screwed. And I don't know, because I didn't see this.
I didn't
here.
see the top either, so I don't know.
So I don't know if they have an escape or not. All the buildings don't have the escape. Some of them have. The more modern facilities do have. But I'll tell you, that is the scariest thing ever.
Because immediately for me, what I thought, that's got to be like one of my top like fears probably.
Yeah,
is getting trapped and
something like that,
and like drowning or something when you're stuck somewhere, or I don't know. Like, do you guys have like a fear like that? Because I like, what is your like? Do you have a biggest fear?
I don't have like a planes. That's I wanted to be a pilot. That was my.
I remember you saying that before.
But as I've gotten older, a plane crashing, that would probably be the worst fear, or landing on the water, because you're pretty much done. They go through that whole ritual, the floats and all that. Believe me, that's just
what's that really?
That's just to make people calm.
Yeah.
Because if there is some sort of a plane failure up there, it's coming down on the water, and barely anybody survives.
It doesn't matter if you have the vests.
Really.
Like that impact.
Do you think anybody really? Oh, the plane's coming down at a rate, an incredible rate. By the time you get your float out, you're done. I mean, there is none.
Imagine something being super quick like that, and then you just see a bunch of people like cannonballing out of the plane. Cannonball!
Sometimes I wonder. I seen it the other day in an episode of a show that we're watching. I wonder why they never invented this sort of mechanism underneath the planes that they can land in water in case of something.
Well,
Balloon, like a big balloon, kind of, keeping them up, and then gradually, slowly, they would fall onto like skis, long skis. There's some planes that
yeah,
have
like the
that.
seaplanes that you can both land in water.
Yeah, I wonder why they shouldn't have invested a little more in that to, for more safety. I mean, because
You would think by now.
let's face it, majority of the planes I heard, their failure is getting hit by birds.
Yeah. Well, like getting caught in a propeller or something.
Exactly. Engines go off, and the plane goes down. More planes fall because of that problem. And so it's not really electrical failure. It's not anything else, or crashes up in the air, or sometimes you have like little close calls with planes, right? It's the bird situation. And let's say if these planes do have this sort of mechanism where they can land on water slowly, like an helicopter would, right? They'll gradually go down and land. Man, how much safety that would be on a plane? Now, I don't know what the cost would be, but it's something that I wonder why they never came up with something like that.
It's weird because like people put like, to fix planes. You've seen it before. Like it's like literally like sometimes they have like duct tape and they're just duct taping like the sides of the. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Like how calm and confident can you feel when you get on a plane and then you look out your window and like one of the wings has like a bunch of duct tape all over? Like
What's most scary.
But it happens though. They do that.
What's most scary is when you're at the terminal and you're getting ready to go in, the plane is just coming in from a longer flight, and it's like, okay, this plane did this plane have any rest at all? Did this plane just came in from 5 hours, 6 hours in the air? Did this plane? Did the pilots are the same pilots? They usually go.
Did they refuel the gas? Like all that stuff.
All that stuff. You start second guessing. It's like, wow. Let's say this plane came from California, so it was flying for 5 hours, 5.5 hours. Now you got to go back 3 hours to somewhere, or 4 hours. Jesus, that's a lot of tension on your plane, on your motor, right? On your engines, right? So you start thinking,
It is strange to think that like, is like when you're up in the air and you've been flying for a while and it's like really quiet on the plane, you're just like, I hope the pilot's awake. You know what I mean? Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know if he's sleeping or checked out or
right.
you just cruise control right now.
It's true. I remember back then when we used to fly, the captain would go on a few times during the flight. This is Captain blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We're currently at 35,000. And this is the weather, blah blah. But now it's like they don't say anything.
They just say hi, and then like when you're like 15 minutes out, they're like, "Hey, we're 15 minutes out."
Exactly.
Like, you don't hear from this guy ever.
It's like, are they really sleeping? There's two or three out there.
Just
So
put on autopilot, man.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it fly.
Yeah,
Literally.
You're right.
That's weird, man. Airports freak me out a little bit.
They
I
do.
saw a stat today that's like at the Charlotte airport here, it's had, I think it was like 60% increase in like people trying to bring guns through the airport.
Nice.
Like, but how do you think you're gonna get through though? You know what I mean? I don't understand. Like, because once they bring it, it's like they're confiscating it right then and there. They're not saying, "Hey, go bring it back to your car."
Do they have permits and license for it?
Yeah, but not to be in the airport, not to bring with you. It's like
If you have your license, you can.
No, you can't bring a gun through there.
If you have license.
If you're a cop, maybe, but like if I have a permit for a gun, they're not gonna let me bring a gun.
You're probably right. I'm not
I don't know if they
sure
can take
about
it
that.
from you if you have a permit, but
I'd be kind of scared to have somebody walk in there.
but just think about that. We've been in the airport this year. I mean, odds are somebody had gone through that day or tried to get through that day with a gun.
Yeah.
But they turned them away, or they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna just be like, "Oh, go bring that back to your car and come back."
I don't know about you, but the first thing that when I go on a plane and I sit down, I start looking around.
You still do that?
Yeah, I still look around. I still reminded of that horrible accident that happened. And, you hate to pick on any race or because anybody's capable of doing that, right? But, you always look around and say, okay, that looks you start saying, okay, that's trustworthy.
It's a lot of the
that's
white people
take
doing
a-
that stuff
Well,
nowadays.
it's true. It's true. Now, anybody can do it, but you always have that in the back of your mind. The guy that put a bum in a shoe, or somebody who does, put it in their luggage or laptop or something like that. I mean, you're always like, wow, is this safe? There was a trip. I'm not going to say it, but there was a trip that we took, and there was a lot of people from, the parts of the world that, they're not very safe.
This is sounding really racist.
And I was like, oh, no, do I belong here or not? And this is as far
This
as
is
I'll
very
go.
borderline racist. Please go on.
Please go
What
on.
parts of the country are we talking here?
Let's say the Middle East.
A very general area.
Yes.
Well, getting back to it, Josh, do you have an all-time fear, like your greatest fear? Do you have a biggest fear?
I've always been afraid of heights,
Yeah.
but for some reason I usually have nightmares of and it's not all the time, but whenever I do have a nightmare, it's about me driving and my brakes go out.
Oh.
I hate that. There was nothing you could do basically.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you ever crash into anything in these dreams?
No, I
They
usually
just-
wake up before
anything
I
happens.
find out I'm doomed.
Do you ever try looking it up? I think I asked you this once before because you told us about a dream you've had.
Yeah, it's always
That
the
you
plane.
reoccurring.
Always
one.
the
I know,
plane.
but
Twice.
I don't know how much stock you guys put into looking up dreams. I can look it up right now if you want.
Well, brakes
do
not
it.
working.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's look up brakes
Speak-
given out.
Speaking of that, Zoida's brother, he drives a big, those construction trucks,
Yeah.
and he was driving in a highway in New Bedford, and with no brakes.
No brakes.
No brakes. What does he do? Is he Fred Flintstone?
He had
Just
he,
sticks his feet out.
he
and
had
stops.
he had to pull to the right and go through the trees on the highway to slow him down.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's very dangerous.
his
Yeah.
truck was totally towed.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't want to crash into people. That was
Yeah.
the only thing he did.
I would've
We had
taken out the
pictures and
people.
everything.
I would take.
Unbelievable.
What would slow you down? What would slow you down more, the people or trees? If you're running into them.
What would slow you down?
I would think trees.
Probably trees. Well, it depends on the size of the tree. If it's a really skinny one, you just.
Depends on how many.
That's
Still
exactly
slow.
what
If you got a group of 20.
You gotta hit. Let's go back to the old question. You got 100?
100 tree-sized people, or
One elephant.
one
Duck
tree-sized
elephant.
person.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked it up, by the way, Josh. If you want to hear it.
Sure.
You have an interpretation on a dream?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I have. There's been dreams I've had before. I mean, we do it all the time. It's I don't know how much stock I put into it, but sometimes it kind of makes it kind of clicks in your head. Wow, that's kind of relatable. Maybe it's a thing. But anyway, brakes given out during a dream, right? Says, to dream of using brakes represents your wish to slow down in a situation or relationship. It says you may not like how quickly a situation is progressing. To dream of your brakes not working may represent feelings about being unable to control or stop the direction a situation is going in your life. Dude, that's deep, though.
That's false.
Nope.
Not buying it.
Check the planes.
You want me to check that one?
Yeah.
What is yours? Planes crashing in dream?
Yeah, me always in a plane that crashes.
Okay. This
That one's
is
a little more dark.
And
Yeah.
I wake up in sweats.
Why don't you be something not even as serious as cars
I know.
not having brakes?
Well, look at yours.
Yeah, I want you to
Ooh.
be not serious.
Look at this one. All right, so planes crashing from the sky in dreams imply that you are worried about someone or something. It says you may be feeling afraid of losing your family, friends, or partner in life. It also symbolizes your fear of failing in life, which is usually related to work or family problems in life.
Well, all those are true.
I'm right. I mean, these things are pretty spot on, though, for the most part.
How about when you have a dream that you're friends with a monkey?
I'll look it up.
Fight with a monkey.
You said friends with the monkey?
Yeah, friends with a monkey.
Okay.
There really is one.
Oh, wow.
Wait, is there one? Oh, dreaming of a monkey also symbolizes anxiety and bad omen. Are you having dreams of monkeys? Being
No.
friends with monkeys?
But how the hell did they know this?
That's my question: is who's interpreting these things? I mean,
don't
is
know.
Is it real?
But when you look it up, doesn't it feel like
Yeah,
it
but
may
how do you
be
know
true?
it pertains to that?
I don't know.
Yes, what you said. Yes, sometimes it's true. I worry about family issues and family this, and that, losing and this and that. But how do you know it pertains to plane crashes?
I would say that the whole no brakes thing, not the first definition you gave me, but the second one, I could see that being true.
It can be relatable. I don't know how they get there. I don't know. It's some.
I can't wait to go to bed and drink tonight.
I have some very like weird dreams about the whole like, you know, every single.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to bed and dream tonight, so I can just look it up in the morning.
There's been plenty of times where I've had a dream and I'll wake up and I'll tell like T or Matt or I'll tell somebody about it, and they're always just like, "Well, look it up," or "What do you think it means?" You never heard of people say like, you never had told someone your dream before and they were like, "What do you think that means?"
No,
No?
I've never done that.
That never happens. I mean, to me, it all the time. Especially like me and T. We'll, like if we have a dream or something like that, we'll bring it up and
I look
Well,
at it
look
as
it up.
playing the lottery. You know, it's like, you have a nightmare? Well, that sucks. Try again next
try
day.
again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't have one tomorrow.
You
I
lost,
don't really think too much into it.
lost $20 in lottery tickets. Not a big deal.
You win some, you lose some, right?
Right.
I will say one time I did dream that it was one of our family members that passed away, that they showed up in my dream, and that's when I started looking into like, why did that happen?
Want me to look that up?
When a family member goes in your dream?
Yeah,
passed away.
A deceased family member.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Deceased family member in dream. I mean, that one I would assume it's just like you missed them or something. I don't know.
It was
But-
actually, it was your mom.
I have dreams about her all the time. And my
How
my
often
sister.
or how? When did it happen? Was it right after?
Yeah, it was probably,
So it just says it's part of the mourning process.
yes.
Me, it's always once in a while.
Yet you still have dreams like that?
Of like memories of back then.
Oh, of Oh,
Of
okay.
memories,
Okay.
yeah.
So in your dream, they're not deceased. They're just.
Right.
It's like a memory type.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's still. I don't know. Dreams are weird, man. We had a whole thing about it last one time on one of these episodes, and it's just like, just can't figure it out. I don't know how it happens, but
Yeah, it's like I did question this one time, and it was like, is really dreams necessary in our lives? Did God give us dreams for a reason? We'll find out one day, won't we?
maybe, or maybe it's all just a dream. Maybe we're dreaming right now.
We're just living in a facade of a life.
Imagine that.
Could be.
That'd be nuts. You know what I dreamt of?
Talk about.
A better Red Sox team than what we've been dealing with in the past.
Good
Pass.
segue.
That was a flawless segue.
Oh.
That was very smooth. Thought about it on the spot. I mean, do we even get into it? Should we even talk about this team? The way they've been?
As of for the past week, who do you think the best Red Sox player has been?
That's been very difficult because everybody has been struggling. So I
Correct.
can't.
This is what makes it so much of a hard question.
yeah,
That's why I'm asking.
Let me ask you this. In 2018-19, when we won the big one, did we go through a stretch like this?
Not really.
In 18, no. 18, we steamrolled
Yeah,
everybody.
we did.
I mean, that was
Right
just.
through. So there was no 1 week, 2 weeks of...
no, not
of,
that I can remember.
You don't know the longest losing stretch it
Yo,
was.
Just think about how crazy that team in 18 was. The Yankees won 100 games.
Yeah.
And they still finished second place, 8 games out.
8 games out.
I mean,
Correct.
That's how crazy the Red
Correct.
Sox were. They just steamrolled everybody.
But
But to Josh's question, though, I would say in recent, as much as I can think recently, I would say maybe Verdugo.
I was thinking Verdugo.
Just because he had that big home run
Yeah.
on that one game we
yeah,
did
he won
win.
the one game.
That one
Yeah.
game. But
Yeah.
other than him, and JD's been hitting okay lately. Now, finally.
Now.
But everybody's been struggling.
And I think that, this is what's going to decide the season for us. We know Sale's about to come back. Maybe he's got one more start in Worcester.
No, he's starting Friday or Saturday.
Oh, he does. I thought he had one more to go. So, but anyway, he's coming back, and Kyle, who we picked up, should be ready to come back, right, from his injury, right?
He had to push
There's
back.
going to be a big boost to that lineup as well as the pitching staff. If you look at the top three, Erod is a question mark because he's in either cold or hot, and we don't know what he's gotten every day. Evaldi's pretty much been the same Evaldi the whole year. And then, of course, you got Chris Sale. If he's 80% of Chris Sale, I think we'll be okay. This is what's going to separate the boys from the men. How they react to this losing streak right now. It's even before the All-Star game, they were starting to lose a few games here and there. And it's gone 2 weeks after the All-Star game. Can this team, and I think Cora is a good manager, he can get these guys to make reverse course. The only problem I have is that it's all three phases of the game that's gone cold. Their starting rotation has gone cold, their relief pitching, and now their lineup they can't hit. That game where Verdugo hits the tying home run and they ended up winning in extra innings, that was big for them to turn around. Sunday's game was like one of those fluke games that it's going to happen once in a while.
Oh, I was watching that Sunday game. I was watching with T. We didn't watch the whole thing, but I mean, you could even ask T. It was like what, the 6th or 7th inning. Yeah. I was already saying they're gonna lose this game.
Yeah, I was saying that too.
They're gonna blow it.
I was watching the game by myself, and I'm like, okay, they put runners on. They can't drive in the big run. They can't score. And then every reliever that Cora brings out there was walking guys, wild pitches, and I'm like, this is not good. This is going to fall right here.
Right,
and sure enough,
I knew it was bad. Right when Sawamura he threw 9 straight balls.
Oh yeah,
and it was not even close.
No.
He was spiking them. He was throwing them way over to the left.
Yeah.
To the. I mean, I'm
what
not even
happened
close.
to the 2 guys they picked up?
Oh, Robles and they're not good though.
That wouldn't do much of a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Honestly, I would have taken it over Sawamura in that situation because Sawamura is coming back from an injury, and I feel like he was trying to. I feel like he's still hurt, but I think he wanted to go out there and pitch anyway and try to prove that he can hang and he's got it and everything like that. Yeah. But I think he rushed himself. I think he's still hurt, and it obviously looks like it because.
Oh yeah, he looks terrible.
Because he wasn't even close.
And then Ottavino, I'm sorry. Every time I watch Ottavino, I get sick because. He goes to that slider all the time. And then when he gave up the tying run, not the tying run, he gave up 2 runs. Then he started throwing the fastball. He throwing the fastball until Cord just got him out of there. But I'll tell you one thing. Ottavino, he's not the Ottavino of old. Even last year with the Yankees, this year.
There was a period of this year where he was
He's not good. Shut down. He's not a guy that you can say, okay, we got this. And even Barnes went to that fastball too many times with Springer. He should have thrown a curveball once in a while.
Yeah. I still feel like I have more faith in Ottavino than a lot of the other guys, though.
Oh, of course, you have to. I mean, the other guys, what do they got? I mean, even though Hernandez is hurt, right? He's not pitching.
Darwinson, right?
Yeah, he's hurt. So if you've got some injuries, too, to play with here, if these guys can come back healthy, that would lessen the burden on the relievers and the starting rotation. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not feeling. I think the window's gone by. I think they're 4 games out of Tampa. Big series coming up. But if Tampa wins 2 out of 3, I think they're playing for 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 4 games out right now.
Right.
They're off today, which is Monday, the 9th of August. And they play the Rays the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And it's all at Fenway, which is good for us, hopefully. And then we play the Orioles, which hopefully we can beat them up. But we thought this way about the Tigers, didn't win against the Tigers. So hopefully they can pick up against the Orioles. And then we play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. So that's also another big series, too. Because now the Yankees are starting to creep up. Mm-hmm. And it's not even the fact that they're good. It's the fact that everyone else is kind of
losing.
The Red Sox are losing. It's not everyone else. It's just us. We're losing. So the Yankees have been gaining ground. Plus, they just played the Orioles. They're playing some bad teams, so the Yankees are
should win. Should win.
Everybody should win against these certain teams.
Against Orioles,
exactly. So Yankees coming back. I think they are 5 games out now, and they're also only, I think, 2 games behind us in second place.
Correct.
So yeah, Yankees 3rd place. Toronto's 4th place, but Toronto's a way better team. I'm more worried about Toronto than I am the Yankees. We've been saying that for the whole year.
Yeah,
Toronto's got a really good team. They outscored us. I just saw it, and I don't have it now, but they outscored us like it was crazy. It was like 24-14 or something. Like they smoked us, and not good.
Our rotation just hasn't been the same, like, in years. Because I remember we always had these guys coming out of the bullpen that are, like, they could possibly shut it down. Like with Tozawa, Okajima, Koji. No, even like in 2004, we had Mike Timlin, Alan Embry.
Right.
Those guys held it down too. You know, you brought in Folk.
Yep.
But we don't have that in our bullpen. It's kind of like we're just throwing out people now.
Yeah.
There's no really official role. There's not like middle reliever, setup, closer.
Right.
There's just like, all right, we'll throw him in this inning, that inning.
Yeah, and Matt Barnes has had a good season. He got the extension, which he deserves that extension. He's a good pitcher, and you know, and he's having his best year. He was an all-star, so. But Matt says this all the time to me. He doesn't see Barnes as a closer.
Exactly.
And even before the season started, I think us three talked about how who's going to be the closer, because it wasn't a definite like.
I wanted Evaldi.
Yeah, I remember you said you wanted Evaldi, which maybe with some pitching coming back, who knows what could happen. I don't know. Maybe Evaldi goes bullpen. I think he's been too good to go to the bullpen, but I mean, Perez is already going to the bullpen.
You know, you need to be solid at 100 miles an hour, 98, 97, 98.
And at this point, just throw Sale in the closing rotation.
Yeah, right.
It would have been a different situation, but then again, you don't have the starting staff, so Evaldi is forced to do that. You know.
Yeah. I remember a lot of people being upset at the deadline. I think I was. So we covered the deadline before it happened. We haven't done an episode about the Red Sox since after the deadline. So we haven't really talked about it.
Man.
What are your thoughts on the deadline? Are you happy with the Red Sox, what they did, or do you think they should have got some more? Or if you do think it should have been some more, who else should they have gotten? I mean, because if you think about it, who really would have been the difference maker if the Sox went out there and unloaded a lot of prospects for somebody for just a month or two?
Yeah.
And how much of a difference would that one person have really made to push us over the top? You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not happy of I think we should have gotten more. But if you, as I said it in the last episode too, they have plenty of free agents next year. So why not just wait for that rather than giving up prospects? And
it's very true. If Heim is going to go out there and actually spend, you know what I mean, where he doesn't have to give up the prospects because the Red Sox have the money. So if he's going to go out there and actually spend, there is a lot to choose from, honestly. I mean, from every position. Pitching, I mean, I got first baseman's up right here. I mean, we're going into an offseason. It's not great, but there's some guys out there. Freddie Freeman is out there. Brandon Belt is another one. Anthony Rizzo's another one. You can bring back Mitch Moreland for a deal. Travis Shaw's out there. C.J. Cron, who's capable of hitting 30 home runs. I mean, there's some options for first base.
I wasn't totally disappointed with the deadline because exactly what you said. I think management, and they went after Max Scherzer.
I remember management were pushing Heim to get him, but I'm kind of glad Heim didn't do it.
That's right, because I believe the price was a little too high. And they're not an organization that has a lot of prospects. Like some teams do have a lot of prospects. We did spend a lot of prospects to get Sale and a few players for that 18-19 championship. Those are the prospects that would have been already starting to play for us right now, right, in major leagues, right? Management saw this, and so Max Scherzer, yes, he's a good piece. He's going to be a good player on your rotation, but does he guarantee you a championship?
Right.
And if that answer is no, then why are you going to give away, 2-3 top prospects? And then you're down to only maybe 5, and then you can't pull any trades down the line, right? You're gonna jeopardize your future for a maybe. So I wasn't totally. No, I like Kyle. I think Kyle's a good hitter. Now he's going to be playing a position that he's played once, I think.
So that's where I'm a little skeptical of. Is it for sure that they're going to put him at first? Because, I mean, at this point, do we try to? Or are we just going to have him switch between DH and outfield with, like, JD or someone else? Because if it's up to me, I say try him at first. I mean, Bobby's not doing anything, you know, because the way it is right now, Verdugo's good out there. Kike has been great since the All-Star break. Hunter has been great all year. So you don't want to take away one of those guys out there unless you're moving Kike to second base, which when you get Christian Arroyo back, I kind of want him at second base. So there are some ways to move some people around. Bobby hasn't been that great. Marwin Gonzalez is like blindfolded at the plate, so don't even worry about him. Chavis is now gone. So first base, why not? Why not try putting Schwarber out there. Obviously, it's gonna be a learning curve. Obviously, he's gonna make the errors. There's gonna be some weird decisions you're gonna see. But as long as it's not too costly, consistently, I feel like we can deal with it, right? I mean, how long did we have guys at first? We had Kevin Millar at first base, who's not typically. He's not a great defender. He made some nice plays, yes, but he wasn't a Gold Glover. So I mean, if we can get that there, just to get the bat in the lineup, think how much better that lineup's going to be with Schwarber in the mix, and if everybody kind of gets out of their slumps. Because honestly, out of everybody that was traded, and I'm not just being biased here, the Red Sox got the best hitter in the deadline. Honestly, he had a crazy July. I mean, if I don't know the exact numbers, but
Didn't he win last year?
I remember hearing these.
Didn't he win the home run title last year?
No, not Pete Alonso did.
Yeah, Alonso.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Schwarber, I mean, like he damn, I lost my train of thought.
He's a consistent hitter.
He is. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was I don't know the exact numbers, but I did see and hear that he's got like a higher OPS and a higher, all these statistics that you want in a hitter. It's higher than anyone else that was traded at the deadline. So we got the best power guy. Like Joey Gatto's got power, but he also strikes out a lot. Schwarber doesn't strike out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does strike out, but not like Gallo.
Yeah, and he gets on base.
And Rizzo, a solid player.
Right.
Obviously, I would have loved Rizzo.
He's killing it in New York.
I think we all kind of were hoping for him. I don't know why New York. I still don't know why New York did it.
They did it
to block us, right?
Yes.
That's what I really felt like they did to block the Red Sox.
Even Sam Kennedy attacked the Yankees organization for doing that. But, they're free to do whatever they want. Obviously.
Yeah.
They had a good first baseman on their lineup.
They still do. Now it's the question of where does everybody hit with the Yankees?
It's like it's always the Yankees they always been that way. The Red Sox want him? Oh, we'll make it happen. And they always do that.
We do the same to them, though. We try to, at least.
Well,
we try to match them or block them, I feel like. I think Kurt Schilling we kind of block.
I'm sure we've done our things to block their trades, but you never hear them, but I'm sure it happens behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm okay with what Heim did. What I don't like was the pitching that we got back. Obviously, we needed some pitching.
Right.
I mean, it didn't have to be Scherzer. It didn't have to be.
But other than Scherzer, who was out there available that wouldn't empty our farm system?
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. Like, I would have loved
Barrios,
Barrios.
Right? Barrios.
And if not him, then
he went to Toronto.
Yeah, which is good for them.
What did they pay for him?
They gave up a lot.
There you go.
They gave up a lot. And then Kyle Gibson was thrown out there. And honestly, I don't know how much we would have to give up for
Kyle
him.
Gibson really...
Exactly. Is it worth...
a 3, 4, or 5?
Yeah, is it worth giving up for Kyle Gibson?
With these contracts now, every contract is pretty much expensive.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It's getting harder and harder every year.
There's no way to budget now with if you want to get what you want, basically. Because the free agents that I remember coming up in the starting pitcher, they're going to cost some money.
Yeah.
And I think Kershaw was one of them, maybe.
Kershaw is one of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how much he's going to want. He has been declining through his career a little bit. He's not as dominant as he used to be.
Well, he's 37 years old. So even at 37, he's still dominant in what he does, doesn't he? Yeah. And so, his next contract, you're probably looking at 15, 18 million.
I was thinking that.
Hey, so I have a website up right now. It's let me give them credit here. Spottrack.com. They have free agents coming up, and they also have the market value, the AAV, of what they're expected to get, next year. And for Kershaw, believe it or not, his age and everything, 34 years old.
No, I was talking to Max Scherzer.
Oh, Scherzer, okay. So Kershaw, 34 years old. His market value is $34 million.
34 still.
I don't know.
Well, 34 is still good, but 37 for Max Scherzer, what is he worth?
But you're going to pay $34 million to a 34-year-old?
And he has not been good for the last few years.
No, I don't know how many teams are going to be doing that.
No,
it's like a Pujols, Miguel Cabrera contract right there.
And even Scherzer at 37, his market value is $29 million. I don't think anyone's going to be paying that for him. He's 37.
Correct.
He's got like another year or two. Honestly, he could maybe go more than that. He could maybe go into his 40s because he looks like he's still...
Yeah, he's still physically fit. But
filthy. But, like, I mean, some of these values, like Josh is saying, every year it's going up. I mean, Zach Greinke, he's not worth what he's been being paid.
Yeah.
And even next year when he's a free agent...
And baseball is the only
28.
sport... They're like real estate, to be honest with you. They have lost control of the value for property. They continue to age, and yet they're not losing much in value. Real estate is the same way. It continues to go up, The houses keep getting smaller and smaller in square footage, but their value continues to rise. It's the same. Baseball is the only sport that I out of the 4 major sports that have no control. They haven't had any control for a long time now of salaries. I don't understand.
And just like real estate, on that point, you know how when you go and buy a house or when you put a house up for sale, it goes off of the houses around it.
Sure.
Basically,
Location.
That's just like baseball. Look at the starting pitchers. You watch the top guy get signed.
Yeah.
And then every pitcher
Follows
after that,
through.
they go based off of
on
what that guy's getting paid.
Exactly.
If this guy's making this much, I'm worth.
Right.
I got to be worth this much.
That's right.
And that's just the way it is. It's all around.
You don't see that. There's a nice structure plan in football for salaries. The rookies make pretty much the same thing, right? Right off the rookie contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your mid-level and you got your higher priced, right? But you don't see this craziness like, let's say Max Scherzer, he's worth 20 million today. He's played 5 years, 6, 7 years, and then his next contract is even bigger.
Yeah. As he's gotten older.
Because as what he's produced in the past and not so much what he's going to produce now. And that's how a lot of teams get caught. Like, the Yankees, for instance, is one of those. They've assigned a lot of aging players, aging contracts, and they did not decrease their value. They increased their value. And now, like Stanton, for instance, he hasn't lived up to that contract in years. And they're stuck with him. Ellsbury was another one.
Yeah, A-Rod towards the end.
A-Rod.
They just...
it's just that they keep they keep increasing the salary, and the play is not what it used to be. And man, I'll tell you.
I think that's more like the general manager's fault. Because, you see pitchers who aren't, on the level of, say, Scherzer or something like that. But they had one crazy year. Maybe they had a decent year following that, but then they automatically throw millions at him.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, all right, now we want to lock you up. So it's going to be I don't know, they'll sign him for 3 years, 10 mil a year or something. And then it'll just go up from there. And that's for any other pitcher.
Yeah.
But, I think that's... Do you think... Because baseball is more, they have more players than football, that they manage their salary more? I'm not sure.
I honestly don't know I don't know what the thought process is behind it anyway. Because every year, like you're saying, the starting point gets higher and higher. Remember, it was years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The starting point used to be $20 million, and that used to be a lot of money.
Right.
And now it's every year.
It's like a base price.
Yeah, and now it's 30. It starts at 30 now.
Right.
Every year, every offseason,
It just keeps
the base
going.
starts at 30, and it just keeps getting higher and higher.
Eventually,
it's going to be hard for these teams to do it. Look, I always bring this up, and I always Mike Trout is a phenomenal player, but he's making $35 million a year. You know how much that? I mean, that is a third of Tampa Bay's entire payroll. You know what I mean? It kills me. If one team's going to have the money, I feel like all these teams, I think all teams should have the money. You know what I mean? Because it sucks when it's the same few teams. Luckily, we're one of those teams that have the money.
Right.
We're fans of the team that has a lot of money. The Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Giants, the Angels,
But
the Yankees.
Isn't it more worth and more satisfying to know that your team won with prospects that you drafted?
I think it would be.
Like Kansas City,
Yeah.
when they won their championship. Kansas City's payroll, I don't know if it was 70, million. But look at that roster, right? It was all homegrown. And
It's almost like the Cubbies when they won.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
They had a lot of guys came out of the system, and you think of, they became star players. Baez, Bryant.
Chicago's in a different class as far as they were on the upper.
They still had
clubs.
money. Yeah, they still had money.
No, Kansas City is a whole different.
But
Pittsburgh.
I mean, Cubs didn't have to buy their title. A lot of people talk about buying championships. The Cubs.
Well, the Dodgers are doing it now.
Exactly. The Cubs really just developed who they had, and there was a lot of guys that proved to be worth big money. Now they are worth big money, but yeah, I mean, it's like other teams. I mean, the Red Sox. I don't say that they buy their championships because a lot of the titles we've won. We've had a lot of odd players in there that are not big names. You know what I mean? Guys that come up like Johnny Gomes and JD Drew, it's Steven Drew, just random
the mid-level.
Yeah, just random players. that
mid-tier
prove
players.
to be big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you have Ortiz,
but also Ortiz kind kind of was a homegrown almost.
Just about.
They traded him, obviously from,
A year
from
after
Minnesota. Yeah,
right?
but at that point, nobody knew who he was, and he didn't even know
Exactly.
who he was.
Exactly.
And I think he topped out salary-wise at like $16 million. Like, he didn't make
Yeah.
crazy amount of money, so it's not even like...
Well, he is a one-dimensional player.
Yeah.
He can flat out hit, but he can't.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of people slept on him at first, though. He could play some defense, that dude. He had some smooth picks
I think,
over at first base.
yeah.
I wouldn't start him, but I mean,
Right.
I don't think it's that much of a
Right,
liability.
and that's the question on Kyle now coming in.
Yeah.
That's the same. And now, do you risk it being 4 games out? That error that he might cause could cost you.
I know. That's the thing. If it's not a consistent, if he can handle his own, keep him in there. You will take the mistakes here and there, right? But if it's like every game and if it's consistently, then you got to think of different options. Throw him in the outfield, put him on DH.
So-
I really don't want to see JD out there. I don't.
Yeah. Because you are improving on one area and then you're destroying the other area. It's the same thing with JD swapping.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
So you're really not doing
Just to get the
yourself
bat in the
any
lineup.
favors.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind. I think a lot of people would be talking about this. I think we might not even be talking about this if Kyle was already in the lineup from the get-go, from like the actual trade deadline the next day. Boom, he's in the lineup.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not in there and he hasn't been,
Yeah.
and we're 2 weeks after the trade,
Correct.
2 or 3 weeks now, and he's still not in the lineup. Now we're like, it feels like we didn't do anything. When really, we got Schwarber, one of the
Right.
best hitters coming in, and we
Right.
got Sale, one of the best pitchers coming in baseball. If he's what he should be, I mean,
So we traded 19th pick, our 19th best prospect, I think was 19th, for Kyle. And he's going to play maybe 1/3 of the year. We're approaching 1/3 of the year now. So do you have the intentions to sign the guy next year?
I guess
And then where do you put him?
I guess it all depends on what your plans are. Like, are you trying to go out and get an actual certified first baseman? Hey, I've said it forever. What's his name? Freddie Freeman is my favorite first baseman. I've always wanted Freddie Freeman. I still would take him to this day. If we have a chance to get Freeman, I'm getting Freeman. But if we don't have it, even if we're trying to get Mitch Moreland, I'd rather us get Schwarber back. You know what I mean? Even though Mitch is better at defense at first base, it's just
You might be looking at if JD opts out, you might be seeing Kyle as your
a new
DH.
Yeah.
And then maybe go out and sign Freeman at first base if they don't give
See, but we
Bobby
love doing
Dalbec
this,
all
though.
this.
We love doing this. We
But
come
don't
up with all
forget-
these like scenarios, and they
don't for-
never do what we.
Don't forget, Dustin Pedroia is off the books next year. Right.
Yeah.
So he's off the books. There is some contracts that are coming off. So they'll have a little money to spend. That's why the ownership said we'll go all out on 2022.
I hope, but Heim is not a big spender. He never was with Tampa, right? So it's
Well,
going to
that's-
be interesting.
But that's not his money. Don't forget, he was controlling the owner's money in Tampa. Two different ownerships. You know, Heim is very good at getting prospects.
But at
That's
the
his
same
best.
time, he's had some pushback though. Like the ownership really wants him to go for Scherzer, and he still went against it. You know, he said, "No, I want to keep our guys."
I'm glad. Actually, glad that he did that.
Me too. But let's just say he keeps that same mindset in the offseason where like management's ownership's like, "Hey, let's go for Freddie Freeman. Go ahead and pay him $25 a year or whatever."
Yeah.
And Heim's like, "I don't know if I want to pay a guy $25 a year."
I don't think they're going to do that because look, Springer was out there for the taking this year. Did they go out and get him? No. They've gotten some guys in this year in 21. I thought they should have gone and get, and they didn't, right? So does that change for next year? I don't know. I don't think the Red Sox are spending more big contracts like they used to. I think they closed the case when Mookie said no. Okay, this was our final offer, and you're not going to get any more than that, and that is that. So I don't think they're going to be signing anything for more than 4 years. They learned their lesson with Sandoval. They've learned their lesson with a few other players after that, and I think that's just me saying. I think they are very based on prospects right now. That's why you see Boom getting all these prospects, gather all the pool of prospects to see which ones will work out with the organization and which ones he's going to release.
Let me ask you guys your thoughts on Jarren Duran. What do we think? Go ahead, Josh. What do you think?
Didn't he have COVID?
Did Duran have COVID?
He played Sunday.
Oh, I think he was out of the lineup and JD on the same day because of like a COVID like precaution, but I don't think he had it. But thoughts on him, his production, the style of player. Have you seen enough?
I don't mind him. I mean, he's not someone I'll just let go. I would definitely keep him around.
Do you think he's the future still? Do you think he's going to be the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I like him. He gives you power, speed. I mean, he won't embarrass you in the outfield. I think he's a decent player to look. I think the hype was a lot in the beginning. He's only hitting, I think, 211 right now.
Yeah, it's not that great.
He's not doing that well. And I don't think he's got the green light on when to steal a base. Remember when Ellsbury came on?
Yeah.
Ellsbury was given the green light.
Sometimes it takes guys a little longer.
This guy, they haven't given him the green light to steal. Although Cora is a guy, he's a player's manager. He says, if you think you got it, you got it. So I'm still waiting for that. He might be one of those guys who he goes to left a lot. So he's like an opposite hitter, pretty much.
I actually think both of his home runs have been opposite field home runs.
So I think that plays very well in Fenway Park if he can keep doing that, right? And that's what they were trying to get out of Bradley. He never did, right? Very little. I think he's a good prospect to keep. I wouldn't just trade him for anything right now. Yeah.
We said the same thing about Devers when he first came in.
Right.
Like, he used to, use the opposite field a lot.
Right.
Maybe
Devers is just
similarities there.
A knockout hitter.
Yeah.
And, but Duran, with these guys, and sometimes you say to yourself, especially the pitching, it's like these guys are in the minors for so long. I mean, if they know how to throw 3 pitches, why it's so long? Their pitches are not going to change in AAA as in the major leagues. The hitters will, but the pitching is not. So why do they stay there for so long? Like Grom is still there, right?
Well, maybe
Jay Grom? Do we still have Jay Grom?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Josh?
Said maybe there's like control issues. Maybe their mechanics aren't all the way down.
Which is another thing. I don't know why we keep sending Houck up and down.
Yeah.
That dude can clearly pitch in the majors. He's shown that. He even showed that last year. I think he faced the Yankees 3 times and he won I think all 3 games against the Yankees.
Right.
So and the Yankees weren't bad like they are last year. So. And every time he's been out there this year, he hasn't. I haven't seen him get rocked once.
No,
I haven't.
No,
he's given up runs, but he hasn't gotten rocked. So, what's the pushback here? You got Garrett Richards, who's absolutely terrible at his job.
Perez
hasn't been good.
Right.
So you got Sale coming back. Goodbye, Perez. You go to the bullpen. Why don't you just put Houck in the rotation and you just put Garrett Richards in the bullpen?
And that's the problem too. You look back. When the season is almost ending and you're down by 5 games, and you say to yourself, "Well, I was stuck with Richards for so long. Why didn't I just pull him earlier?" And Perez, right? They cost us probably 10, 11, 12 wins, right? And this is the problem that I've been saying for so long. I've been a Red Sox fan for so long. That they always been doing that. Always do that. They stick with you longer than most teams do. The Yankees, if there's a starter that's stinking up for 3 or 4 games, they'll yank him. And they say, "You're not pitching there next time." The Red Sox will just continue to throw you out there. And then, at the end of the year, says, "Oh, man, I wish I should have done things different."
They like to make excuses for their failed pitchers or players, you know what I mean? They like to give too many chances to the same guy, like you're saying. But I think Richards, sometimes they flourish in the bullpen. Why not try him in the bullpen?
Well, Perez is headed there.
Yeah, Perez. Why not Richards? Put him in there.
So the 2 guys they picked up in the trade deadline, you say garbage.
I only know of Robles. He can throw gas. He can throw like 100.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So is Rios. But they have control issues.
Who's Rios?
Rios is the guy they just picked up. They picked up not too long ago.
Yaxel or whatever his name is, Yaxel Rios?
Something like that. He has control issues.
I don't know the guy too much who they got for Chavis. I think his name's Austin Adams, maybe.
Right.
I don't know too much about him. He's a lefty, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he's pitched. I haven't watched the Red Sox game in a little bit. I saw Sunday, but...
he's basically a lefty on lefty hitter.
Yeah, okay.
Pitcher.
Okay. Robles...
Specialist.
He's had a few years or a couple of years where he's been really good. I don't know what the issue is now. I don't know if it's just because he's lost control or... I don't know what the problem is. But when he's on, he could be a good guy. He could be a good piece, but he just isn't on. So I don't know what the experiment is. That's another thing I don't like the Red Sox do. Too many experiments every year. There's always a guy like Garrett Richards this year, experiment.
You think the ownership has given up?
For this year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the ownership didn't want to give up. I think they wanted to get Scherzer, so they were like, they wanted to make because it's like, hey, we weren't expecting to be this good this year. And then the ownership saw that, and they're like, hey, well, since we're here right now, why not make it better and then try to go for the championship? And then Heim was just like, I'm not going to lose my plan.
Yeah,
my
but you
vision.
think that was Heim's decision to make?
Which one? To not go for Scherzer?
Sure.
I think so. I don't think, and like, I've heard, there's this podcast I listened to, they mentioned, like, we don't know what goes on in these phone calls and behind the doors and who's asking for what. Like, we don't know what the asking price was. I'm sure the Red Sox called for Scherzer and asked, what would it take? And we just don't know what would it have taken. Like, if it's getting rid of a couple of top prospects, I don't think it's worth it. You're getting a month. You're getting a month and a half, maybe.
Right.
Or two, if you're going playoffs, of Scherzer. Is it worth getting rid of a big piece of your future? I don't think so.
So my next question is, do you guys think the Sox slip to 3-4, or they climb back up again and battle it out with the Rays?
See, it would have been nice to have Sale for this series. So I think the Red Sox bats came alive on Sunday after being quiet for a while. So hopefully this Rays series, they continue that. And because, Bogarts had some nice swings. JD was like 3 for 4.
In order to gain ground on one game, you got to win 2 out of 3.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Red Sox, what is that, 3-game series?
Yep.
I want to say 2 out of 3, but
that's only a game.
That's being a high ceiling right there. I honestly could see them getting swept, just by the way they've been playing lately. I could see them squeezing out one win, by the way they've been playing lately, or they could surprise us and win 2 out of 3 or sweep them. So
here's what I think: the season's actually on the ballot here. If they don't take 2 out of 3 and gain one game, the momentum, and then of course they have the Orioles coming up after that, right? Mm-hmm. Is it the Orioles?
Yeah.
If they lose 2 out of 3, they drop one game, so it goes down to 5 games. I think it's over.
Damn.
I think
what
it's
you got,
over.
Josh? Let me ask you: do you think the Red Sox win the division?
No.
No?
I don't think they do. If anything, I think the Yankees are actually going to pass this.
Yeah.
So you think Red Sox going to fall third?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been thinking about that. I think they go third and possibly fourth. Toronto's coming on strong. I think the Yankees and Toronto have shown a lot after the All-Star game that they're not going to quit on the season. Rizzo and Gallo is going to make the Yankees a better lineup, a more dangerous lineup, even though those two guys are not, they're not on base percentage guys. But that boost that team just got, I think they also acquired a pitcher, if I'm not mistaken, the Yankees. And Toronto's lineup is as deep as I've seen. They got some really young studs on that team.
They got a scary lineup.
So you could see Tampa, Toronto, New York, Boston.
I think the boost that you're talking about, the Yankees got, I think the Red Sox are going to get that boost when Sale and Schwarber come back.
I hope so. I really hope so. That would be the nicest thing.
I think so. Sale, if he's as good as, his numbers in the mind. By the way, how many rehab starts does this dude need? Because he's had like
4 or 5.
6 or 7 of them. Yeah, it's been. Why do we need that many? Usually it's like 3, and then it's like, okay, you're good. Come on. Why has it been so many, especially with us struggling lately? Why can't we get this guy up here?
They're stretching the pitches. He's pitching longer at each start.
I actually think they're bringing him up for the Baltimore Orioles
God.
series, which is smart, though. It's
a
smart.
test run.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little warm-up.
Right.
But am I thinking, is that right? Because we got, So we got, August 12th is what? So it is against the Orioles this weekend.
Yeah.
13 through 15. Yeah, and then we play the Yankees. So Sale will probably miss the Yankees unless he's going game 1 of the Orioles, which I don't know.
Do you think Rizzo re-signs with the Yankees?
I honestly think there's a good chance he goes back to the Cubs. He was like heartbroken when he left, and like he still wears like the Cubs like gloves and cleats and stuff like that. Poor guy. He loves it over there. So I don't know. I could, out of all the 3 guys that left, Baez.
You could probably see him in a Red Sox uniform next year.
Hmm.
He is from the Massachusetts area.
But if we do that, where are we going to put Schwarber if we re-sign him? If we don't re-sign him?
Well, the thing I was saying before is I have a gut feeling that you might see Martinez walk out. And then you're going to see they're going to need a DH and a first baseman. Well, depending on what Bobby Dahlback, what kind of patience they have with him. But
Prime.
fry him.
I don't know. I like Rizzo. It would have been cool to have him, but I don't know. I feel like he's
more suited for New York than it is in Boston.
He's towards the tail end of his career, so
right.
it's
Right.
how much if you get him for cheap, I'll pick him.
I wish Gallo would leave New York so I don't have to see his disgusting face.
Did you see that? You see that absolute bomb he hit the other day?
No.
331 feet.
Oh, jeez. Right over
just over the Yankee porch.
He can do better than that.
That dude mashes home runs.
Wow, all that power for 331.
Hell yeah. Absolute bomb for his first Yankee home run.
Hey, it goes over the wall. It's still a home run.
You know what was the weirdest swing, but I love, that I've seen is Johnny Damon.
Yeah, Damon had a really weird swing.
One-handed.
It was a weird swing, but man, that guy
One-handed.
could really send it over.
Do you know who he started his career with?
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
and then Oakland.
Oakland.
And then Boston.
Yeah.
And then New York, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, hey, he played for another team, didn't he? After the Yankees,
did he go somewhere else?
I think he did.
Yeah, but didn't he have just domestic abuse problem recently?
I don't know.
Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny Dame.
Johnny Bananas.
I don't know.
There was an issue with I think it was
Yankees love their
either
abusers.
beat a cop or something like that. Yeah, it was in the news. I forgot what it was now,
That
but
sounds like
he's
a
in
Yankee
trouble.
thing to do.
Yeah,
Sounds about right to me.
Yep.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, he fits in perfectly. You know, he considers himself more of a Yankee than he does a Red Sox. And that bothered me.
I don't understand. He was the biggest idiot.
Yeah, he's the one that started all that.
No arm.
No arm.
That's why Manny did that good cutoff.
Took 2 cutoffs to get to the infield.
He
That's
literally.
how bad that throw was. Man, he was
knew.
like, "You're throwing to me?"
No, this is what happened. It hit the center field, and it was deep. And then I guess what was going through Manny's mind was, man, he's got a shitty arm. so he purposely went in front of his way so he just went over there, dived and caught
So
it.
he's like this. He's only maybe 20 feet from
Yeah.
Damon, right?
He's like, oh, he's not going to make this.
Manny Ramirez was such
There was 2 cutoffs because
So-
Manny threw it to
yeah.
a cutoff
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my! You talk about Little League, man. Like this dude, he
That's
took it to another level.
I've never seen that. Not even in Little League.
Yeah.
That's just terrible. It's
Speaking
like
of
little
Little
kids out there.
Speaking of Little League, I remember a really bad throw when I was in Little League. And I guess like I was really advanced for Little League because like we'd play a lot and had a lot of practice. But I remember there was this outfielder. She was a girl, and the way she threw it, it was like on an angle. Like she would release it like this, like chopping.
You know why though? Because softball they throw like that.
I don't know, but she threw it at an angle, like it was like a chop.
Yeah.
And then one time, she was in right field. A ball came to her. She did that, but I guess she released it too early. That thing went over the fence in foul territory.
Home run.
So have you ever seen that before? A throw from the outfield, out of bounds.
No. Not
On
that
the
I-
infield.
Not that I've seen.
But you saw it on the Little League.
Yeah, in Little League. I mean, the only thing I can come close to that is if a guy catches it, he thinks it's 3 outs, and it was 2 outs, and he puts it over the fence.
Oh, we've seen those.
That's always
Yeah.
that's the best when that happens.
We've seen those. I've seen Trot Nixon make a boneheaded play. You remember that
I remember that
boneheaded
one.
play?
Yeah, I remember that one.
He
Larry
gives
Walker.
it to the fan, and it's like, no,
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
it in.
What's always
He's like, give me it back, give me it
yeah,
back.
that's the funniest part is when they try to get it back from
No,
the
now
fan.
let me see if he gives it back. That play is dead.
Yeah, once it goes in the crowd, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he
You
gave it to a
can't
fan.
can't get it back.
I don't think it's
Hey,
dead.
watch this.
I don't think it's dead.
Play it. Still live.
I don't think they rule it as dead.
I think they do. I think it's a double.
No, because they're always in a rush to get it back and throw it back
This
in.
is for another show,
Yeah,
by
but
the way.
I know. But I think when they throw it back in, the umps are already like waving it off like
No,
no.
Yeah, but why would that happen though? Because what if it's like a base hit down the line or something like that, and they know someone's gonna score from first? They could easily just take that ball, throw it over the fence for a ground rule double. It'd be second and third.
Well, I think because if they intentionally do that, then they're just going to give the runner home. You know what I mean? Like if they can see you intentionally trying to cheat and do something like that, yeah. But I feel like because you've seen it when like the balls get hit down the line, especially at Fenway with the low walls, and the fan reaches over and scoops it, it's already a dead ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
if
it's
it's
a double.
touched by a fan, it's,
So I feel
it's
like
already dead.
I feel like if you were to catch it and you put it in the crowd,
Yeah, it's the same thing.
or if you put,
By
it would
accident,
only be if you catch it and put it in the crowd, right?
I don't know how many runners ran on that particular play. Remember Trot Nixon? He gave it to a fan, and I think there was 2 runners on, and I forgot how many runners did score.
Because I remember Larry Walker when he did it.
Yeah.
They just kept running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta look at the rule.
That's a good one. That's a good one because I don't know. Depends on the judgment of the umpire at that time.
I'm pretty sure it's dead, and the umpire decides where the runners are gonna go. Yeah. But I don't know. Like at those clips, I think I do remember seeing multiple runners scoring on the Larry Walker one.
I mean, there's some crazy stuff happening in baseball. I remember, go
ahead. Sorry.
Chicago, the Wrigley Field still has the ivy on the fence, right?
Yeah.
One time the ball got hit there, and it got caught in the ivy, and it was really hidden.
Raise your hands.
Yeah, that's right. So it was the outfielder is looking for the ball, and the ball's caught somewhere, and
he never put his hands up.
No,
that's why.
That's the problem, and the players just kept running and running and running, and I guess they brought the rule now. Hey, if you lost sight of it, at least raise your hand.
As soon as it goes down, throw them up.
Yeah. And then the other play was the Canseco off the head and out.
Oh, yeah. That's a different story. This is the bonehead play.
That's just like, what's his name, sliding under Brady's ass.
Under Brady's ass?
Remember? What's his name?
You talking about football?
Yeah, football.
You talking about Mark Sanchez?
Yeah.
Running into his butt.
Yeah.
I seriously don't understand what was going on there. As soon as he said hike, he was like ass for like.
Let me get at that ass, boy.
That's right.
I was gonna say like those plays. I think it's different if it just goes from to the bat to the fan, but if it goes from the bat to the player to the fan, I think it's different.
I don't know.
I don't know. No idea.
Let me tell you something before we go, though. It's Pepsi Mango. I'm trying it right now.
Is it good?
Really good. I like it.
Still iffy about it.
You don't know about it?
No. I seriously just taste regular Pepsi. There was like at least maybe one sip where I felt like some kind of mango.
I love mango.
That's it.
Well, good luck.
Get in there.
Let me know what you think.
Let's get the review right now.
Deciding factor.
Oh, yeah, the mango's there.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have like a bad palate?
There you go, Josh. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Get the mango in there. Nothing?
Nothing?
I don't know, man.
Maybe you got a bad can.
I don't know what it is.
You get the very bottom of the mango juice on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Final thoughts before we go, Josh.
I'm gonna say let's go Red Sox.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know we bashed them a lot, and I know we think they're dumbasses, which they are.
They can be.
But I'm still rooting for them. I'm not a Red Sox hater. It's just hard not to hate them at this point.
Right.
It's the realest thing that was said this whole.
So I just want to let's pull for the Red Sox right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be fine. My final thought is I think they're going to be fine. They're just playing rough, hard baseball right now.
Yeah. They have too good of
I
think they have a good lineup that can change things around. I think they started on Sunday. The pitching. Pitching got them there. I think they're going to turn it around. Whether or not it's enough to overcome 4 games or 5 games, depending on the weekend coming up, this week coming up, I'm pulling for them. I'm a big Red Sox supporter because you guys know that. And I don't think they have enough to win it all.
At least get the playoffs.
But if they finish second, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
At least get the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I am very afraid of this homestand against the Rays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we obviously know our left field. And now
Nelson Cruz.
That's all I picture. Is him just going like 3 for 4 with 2 home runs.
Oh, he's gonna
and a double.
He's gonna.
That's
gonna happen.
He's gonna hit.
That will happen.
Especially against our pitching.
Oh yeah, no question.
And they went to get him just because of that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's why Yankees picked lefties in their stadium.
Look, before we go, big games coming up. Obviously, we said the Rays, then that series against the O's, which should be good for us. Hopefully,
it has to be a sweep at that time.
And then we play the Yankees. Tough series, but maybe we could pull away with something good there. And then we get the Rangers, the Twins, the Indians. So, if you're going to try to make up some ground...
This is it.
Sorry. This is it.
This is it.
This is the time to do it. Because then after the Indians, after the Rangers, the Twins, the Indians, you play the Rays again. So, and that's going to be the end of August. So, I mean, we're getting close to the end of the season. So, if the Red Sox are going to do something, let's do something. And I hope Kyle Schwarber comes back before October.
Kyle?
Because He's had a, what did I say?
Carl.
Carl?
Yeah.
I didn't say Carl.
You said Carl.
Yeah, it's
Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
I hope Schwarber comes back before October because
Oh, it's got to be
he had a
before that.
He had a setback though.
Again?
Yeah.
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 Oh, so how long now?
I don't know. They said he's dead, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doctor said 6 to 9
Same
months.
injury?
Yeah, it's a
The
hamstring.
hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great deadline move.
Yeah, I know all
Hey,
about
come
that.
on. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. If he comes back to play the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, Kyle Schwarber,
1 for 3, single.
2 walks.
2 for 4, 2 bombs.
Yeah. 2 331-foot bombs.
It's the Red Sox curse, man. Whoever we pick up just doesn't do as well as they
Just
did.
enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Except for like Jason Bay and Beltray.
He's already the second with most home runs in our lineup.
Who?
25.
Who? Schwarber?
Yeah. He's got 25 already.
Wait.
So if he came to Boston, he's second
Wait,
already.
he's second?
Yeah.
Who's first? Devers?
Baby
Yeah.
Devers. Yeah.
Where's Bogarts?
Oh, he's
No.
only got 16.
Yeah.
Jesus.
JD only has like 21.
Twen-
Still the
21?
best shortstop in the league.
He is.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, if you haven't done it, if you're listening on Spotify, thank you for listening. But also go check out YouTube because we're on YouTube now. And it's a new thing we're trying out. So go to YouTube, subscribe, like it, share it, comment on it, let us know some stuff. By the way, Chris, we all know Chris. He commented on our last one on YouTube. Shout out to Chris for that one. Thanks, dude, for listening and watching on YouTube, actually. And if you're watching on YouTube, go over to Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Mike's not on anything because he's off the grid. He doesn't like anyone to know anything about him. So you will not find him on social media.
That's right.
Yeah, he keeps a very low pro.
But if you want to know him, listen to this podcast and you'll pretty much know everything.
Mike doesn't even have a smartphone.
Yes, I have a flip phone.
He's got a landline that he uses
See?
still.
I have a
Yeah.
flip phone.
It's a
he's
boost.
very off the grid.
It's called iPhone.
He doesn't have a mailbox. He has a P.O. box.
Next
It's
tell.
called a flip phone iPhone.
Yeah, something like
Still
that.
got the razor.
Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. Stay bitter.
Wicked bitter.